What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And I mentioned maybe doing a part 2 of 10 movies that need a 4K release in 2024 in my last video, which I guess now would be part 1. And you guys seem like you wanted that in the comment section, so I'm here to talk about 10 more movies that need 4K releases in 2024 because there's a lot. To be honest, I could do like 1,000 of these videos and it probably still wouldn't be enough. There's still a bunch of movies stuck on VHS that haven't made the jump to DVD, tons of DVDs that haven't made the jump to Blu-ray. Like, there's so many that have gotten lost in the shuffle. Before I get into it though, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about movies on this channel, guys, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. And with any hope, I'll get to review some of these titles I'm getting ready to talk about on 4K this year on this channel. We can only hope, right? So with the last video, I feel like I did a lot that were tied to anniversaries. And I think there's a couple in here that are tied to anniversaries, but there's a lot that aren't in this video. I just kind of went over to my shelf. I just kind of looked for a little bit and I just kind of pondered. I'm like, what's the movie that stands out to me that needs that 4K? And these movies just kind of jumped off the shelf at me. Let's start the video, guys. Let's start off with a 1997 science fiction masterpiece. And this one was brought up in the comments section of my last video. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this one before in years past, but I thought it was worth bringing up again. And that is Contact, directed by Robert Zemeckis. So I remember seeing this movie back in 1997 and I didn't enjoy it because it's a slow movie. It's not a psychological, but well, yeah, I guess it would be a psychological science fiction movie, but it's more methodical, it's slower, it takes its time. It's an intellectual science fiction film. It doesn't go for like the cheap alien invasion thrills and chills. It's not Independence Day. 1997, I had just watched Independence Day in the theaters probably 5 times and 100 more times on VHS. So by the time I saw this movie, and you got Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, great performances, but really like not a lot goes on in the movie, and then you finally think you're going to get some alien action at the end, and you get it, but not the way that 11-year-old me would have wanted to get it, but the way that 38-year-old me watches this movie now. I just think it's such a great movie that has so much to say about our place in the world, our place in the universe, and I don't know, I just think this is a masterfully directed film. It's super underrated. I think it kind of got lost in time when this came out. I just don't think people appreciated it when it came out, but this is a Warner Brothers film and they need to put this out on 4K. I think it would sell very well. I think people have gained a new appreciation for Contact, and there's a lot of great references to 2001 in this movie as well. And I would say this is probably the 2001 of the 90s. Like, I think it's of that caliber of movie. So Contact is great. And Jodie Foster, just excellent. Matthew McConaughey, just excellent in this movie. So I would highly recommend Contact, and we need it on 4K. It will look beautiful as well in 4K. Let's talk about another alien film that we need on 4K. I love this movie. It is probably in my, I'd say top 20, top 25 movies of all time. It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan, which I know he can be a divisive filmmaker, but this is definitely my favorite Shyamalan movie. This is Signs. I love this movie so much. Mel Gibson, it may be the best Mel Gibson performance in my opinion, but you got Joaquin Phoenix in this movie. There's a Culkin in this film. Rory Culkin is in this movie. Abigail Breslin plays the little girl in this film. This came out in 2002. I saw this movie in the theaters 3 times, 3 consecutive days. I went and saw it one day, I saw it the next day, and I saw it the day after. I remember buying it on DVD. I was so excited to watch it at home. And I love Signs so much. This is another one that I feel like is a little divisive, like especially at the time. I feel like people weren't as open to the ending that they gave us. And I love the ending. I loved it back then. I love it now. I've never had a problem with the ending, but this is a movie that there's so much heart, there's so much emotion. Like, there's some really emotional moments and great acting by Mel Gibson in this movie. Everybody in this film is great, but there's also some real like moments of terror in this film. I think it's a really scary movie. There's a jump scare in this film that still sticks with me to this day, but I think this movie would look great in 4K, and we need it. But unfortunately, I believe this is a Touchstone release, and that is Disney, and I don't think we're going to get this movie on 4K, at least anytime soon. Now, look, this is why I keep asking, Disney, come on, you guys aren't going to put Signs out on 4K. License your stuff. Come on, I beg you, Disney, license your stuff. I'll play nice. I won't call you all names or call you out as much anymore if you just release Signs on 4K, or let somebody else do it. Like, this would be a great Kino Lorber 4K. Hell, even Scream Factory could do Signs on 4K. I think it would fit within their horror niche in the Scream Factory line. Vinegar Syndrome, if they want to do a nice VSU of Signs, I would sure as hell take that as well. But Signs, we need it on 4K. I love this movie. It would look great in 4K with the cornfields and everything. It would just look fantastic. I love Signs. We need it on 4K. Who else agrees with that? This one came up a lot in last week's video, especially since I mentioned Gone in 60 Seconds. And I think I've talked about this one, needed it on 4K before. And that is the classic 90s action film from 1996, directed by Michael Bay, The Rock. Welcome to The Rock. So I think I saw The Rock at a drive-in when I was a kid. I remember seeing it. I know I saw it in theaters, but I feel like I saw it in a drive-in. But I've always loved The Rock. It hasn't been, admittedly, it wasn't always as high up as like Con Air and Face Off to me. Like, I love those two movies when I was a kid, and Broken Arrow as well. But I gained a greater appreciation for The Rock when I got a little bit older. I watched it again a couple of years ago for the first time in a few years, and I just think this movie really holds up. Like, it's a great 90s action flick. And it's probably Michael Bay's best movie. I'd probably say Bad Boys. I love the first Bad Boys. This would be a close second to me as far as Michael Bay's movies. But Michael Bay, honestly, like, really has a lot of good movies. I love Armageddon. I love The Rock. And I love the first Bad Boys. So, but The Rock is incredible. This movie, like, this Blu-ray looks fine, but like in 4K, this would look so good. This is in desperate need of an upgrade. I think this Blu-ray probably came out like back in 2007, judging by the, this little thing that it has down here, this little like blue wraparound. I think this is like a 2007, 2008 Blu-ray thing that they did where they had the Beyond High Definition Blu-ray release because they were competing with, HD DVD at the time. So they said Blu-rays were beyond high definition. That's how they tried to beat them. So this is probably a 2007, 2008 Blu-ray release. But The Rock would look great on 4K. We need it. Give it to us, Disney. You won't, but give it to somebody else to do. Kino Lorber would be perfect to do The Rock on 4K. This is one, admittedly, this is not one of my favorite movies, but this is the 20th anniversary of this film this year. It's a Martin Scorsese film. I honestly haven't seen it since it came out. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio, so it's got a hell of a cast, but The Aviator, I think, needs a 4K upgrade for sure. Knowing Martin Scorsese, I'm sure this is a beautiful film with great cinematography, and I'm sure a lot of people want this movie on 4K. So I thought it was worth mentioning. The Aviator needs a 4K release. This is a Warner Brothers release, and they like doing anniversaries. So 20th anniversary, The Aviator, Martin Scorsese film. We need all of Scorsese's films on 4K at some point, right? Give us The Aviator on 4K. I'm like halfway through Killers of the Flower Moon right now because I can't watch that in one setting. I think I'm like 2 hours in. That's a heavy movie, but it's a really good movie. It's great performances, Leo and Robert De Niro kind of together, toe to toe, which is super cool to see. But great movie. The Aviator, though, we need that on 4K. Frailty. I love Frailty. You're not a demon, are you? Starring Bill Paxton, directed by Bill Paxton. Also has Matthew McConaughey in it as well. All the McConaughey we can get in 4K, I'll take it. But I think this is a super underrated dark thriller horror film from, I believe this came out in 2001. I love this movie. Lionsgate seems to be responsible for this film, and this would make an awesome, excellent Lionsgate exclusive steelbook, 4K steelbook with some cool artwork on it. We could have Bill Paxton looking all deranged and maniacal on the back. You're not a demon, are you? I love this movie so much. It would, I don't feel like it's a movie that like really desperately needs a 4K, but admittedly, I want it because I'm thinking about that cool Lionsgate steelbook of Frailty. It would be awesome. And I'm sure it will look great on 4K as well. Frailty, we need that on 4K. Guys, I'm just going to lump these four films together, and I do not understand why Warner Brothers hasn't done this franchise yet. It's ridiculous. Like, it would sell like hotcakes. Everybody and their mom would jump on these movies to buy them on 4K. Lethal Weapon. Why do we not have the Lethal Weapon franchise on 4K? I understand Richard Donner's no longer with us. Maybe they're having some trouble with the rights. I don't know. You know, have Mel Gibson supervise the transfers. I don't know what exactly the answer is or why we don't have Lethal Weapon on 4K, but we definitely need all 4 of these classic action films on 4K. Nice little box set. I feel like this is the year. I really feel like this is the year, even though it's not an anniversary. Maybe it's an anniversary for one of the films. I don't know when Lethal Weapon 3 came out, but I know the first one I think came out in 87. Was it 87 or 88? The first one came out. But it wouldn't be an anniversary either way. But Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us a nice 4-pack if you must. You know, Warner Brothers, I know they like to do it with Rocky and Superman, but, you know, give us a nice 4-pack, all 4 of the films on 4K. Give us some cool steelbooks as well. Maybe we can buy them on Amazon or Walmart. Of course, not Best Buy, but, you know, give us some steelbooks of the Lethal Weapon movies. These are big movies. Like, everybody loves Lethal Weapon. Like, it's a huge action franchise from the 80s and the 90s. It would sell. This is an awesome slipcover, by the way. I think I got this at Target, but take it out right here, and you got all, you know, 4 of the Lethal Weapon films. Is this the only way you can own these movies? Can you get these individually, or do you have to get this 4-pack? Which I believe, I wanted to say it was a Warner Archive, but it's not. It just kind of looked like one. I think it's just a basic Warner Brothers multi-pack release. But yeah, we need Lethal Weapon, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go ahead and put them all out in one go on 4K. I feel like this is the year. I feel like they'll do it this year because they know that would sell, right? Okay, we're going to talk about another 2 movies in one go. And this actually is the 25th anniversary of the sequel in this franchise. I'm going to talk about some comedies. I'm going to talk about some classic 90s comedies. I don't need the third one. Well, I guess if we're going to do 1 and 2, I could take the third one. But Austin Powers, like, we need Austin Powers on 4K. Come on, guys. Warner Brothers is responsible for these. These are New Line. But Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, The Spy Who Shagged Me. This is my favorite one. I love The Spy Who Shagged Me. That looks like my husband's one-eyed monster. Step right up and see the one-eyed monster. Whoa, look at that thing. It's so big. Well, I've seen bigger. That's just a little prick. I used to be able to, like, quote that entire tallywhacker schlong, or I used to be able to quote that entire sequence of this movie. But I love The Spy Who Shagged Me. Heather Graham in this movie. Come on now. Heather Graham in 4K and The Spy Who Shagged Me. Come on. And then you got Elizabeth Hurley in International Man of Mystery. Come on now. And admittedly, I have not seen the third one since the theaters. I think that actually came out in 2002 also. I have memories of seeing that and Signs around the same time, but I haven't seen it since the theaters. I remember, like, thinking it was okay, but it did not hold a candle to the first 2 films. So I want the first 2 films on 4K for sure. Give us individual releases, some nice slipcovers, some cool artwork. I think they would look gorgeous in 4K. I mean, they're spy espionage action films. They're just also comedies as well. They would look great on 4K. And how burned would some people be, though, the fact that we got Austin Powers on 4K, but not the franchise that it's spoofing or riffing on, James Bond, first on 4K. People would be upset, but I want Austin Powers on 4K. Do you want Austin Powers on 4K? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's talk about LA Confidential. This one came up in the comment section quite a bit. Ignore this Walmart sticker that I haven't removed from the slipcover. I think I got this from a Walmart bin, actually. Yeah, $4.99 in the Walmart bin on Blu-ray, back when they used to have a lot of good deals. I'll just take the slipcover off so you guys can see it. They used to have a lot of good deals in the Walmart bins, but this is a really great movie from, I believe, 1997, and, you know, I'll just cover up Kevin Spacey as well so we can ignore that controversy. But anyway, like I said last week with American Beauty, separate the art from the artist. Like, who cares if Kevin Spacey's in this movie? They just did Usual Suspects on 4K, so what does it matter? Russell Crowe's in this film. Great cast. Guy Pearce, Kim Basinger. Great movie directed by Curtis Hanson. A, you know, noir film, a modern noir film in the 90s, murder mystery. Great film, and it would look excellent on 4K. It's a long overdue 4K, in my opinion, and this was, oh, never mind. I thought this was Warner Bros. This is 20th Century Fox. Well, goodbye chances of getting a 4K for LA Confidential, but like I said, if Disney got their heads out of their asses, I would play nice if you guys put your stuff out, but I'm not going to right now. You haven't done it yet. You haven't showed me that you're going to do it yet. So pull your heads out of your asses, Disney, And I think this would be an excellent Criterion 4K release for sure. That's where I would send that. All right, so we talked about LA Confidential. Let's move into a movie, a more recent film that I feel like plays in the same universe as LA Confidential. Kind of felt like a modern day LA Confidential, and it also has Kim Basinger in it. The Nice Guys needs a 4K release. I don't know why, because this came out when 4K was going. I think this Blu-ray came out like in 2017, and it should have got a 4K release because this movie, the cinematography, it's directed by Shane Black. It's got Ryan Gosling. Also, Russell Crowe is in this one as well. This is really kind of like the modern day LA Confidential, but it's definitely more comedic. For sure. It's more kind of like a buddy cop kind of film, but this one came out in 2016 and Warner Brothers put this one out. But this movie, like visually, I just remember watching this and being so impressed by the visuals, like the LA nightlife, you know, scenery just looked excellent, even on Blu-ray. But I think this movie would look awesome on 4K as well. Just all those scenes and images and some great cinematography, some great action sequences as well. It would look awesome on 4K. We just got this Blu-ray, but we need this upgraded. I think that Warner Bros., I don't feel like they'll go back and upgrade this one, but maybe. We got some hope. Cross them fingers, you might get The Nice Guys on 4K. I'm sure they forgot about it. Warner Bros. Can't even remember like their most popular films like Nightmare on Elm Street. How are they going to remember The Nice Guys? But hopefully they do. All right, so look, we're putting a lot on Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox Disney to give us 4K upgrades. And this last one is a New Line Cinema release. Came out in 1994, so it's celebrating its 30th anniversary. This is a Jim Carrey film. A lot of people called this one out. Now, this could be one of 3 movies. 1994 Jim Carrey, he put out 3 movies in 1994, but of course I am talking about the one that got several comments on my last video, and that is The Mask. We need The Mask smoking. Ooga! This is the video of quotes, guys. We need The Mask on 4K. This movie will look stunning in 4K. Now, maybe, I haven't watched The Mask in a little bit, maybe the CGI and some of the effects wouldn't look the best on 4K. I'm going to say they will. I feel like there were some good practical effects in this movie as well. I feel like they would look good on 4K, but I just want to see this movie beyond VHS because, as you can see, I don't know why, but I don't have the Blu-ray. I don't have the DVD. I haven't bought this movie since VHS. I've been hanging on to this damn thing. This is the same VHS that I watched when I was a kid. I watched this movie so many times. This and Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura. Oh my God, Jim Carrey in the 90s was just like everything to me, as I'm sure he was a lot of people. But The Mask is a great movie. I remember seeing it in the theaters. The story of Stanley Ipkiss, played by Jim Carrey, who finds this ancient mask and puts it on, and it transforms him into this like super confident, charismatic, green-faced individual. It's a great movie. I love The Mask. Cameron Diaz, come on, like, come on now. Cameron Diaz in 4K. Give me a break. We need it. The Mask will look amazing in 4K. Ben Stein in 4K. I don't want to be sexist, guys. Ben Stein will look fabulous in 4K in this movie. But Jim Carrey, like, I'm just thinking, like, that whole, like, stage show sequence with Cameron Diaz and Jim Carrey getting up on stage with the yellow hat and the jacket and the green face, like, all that will look so good in 4K. If they did a proper 4K restoration, it would do excellent. The Mask would be excellent. But there you have it, guys. That is my second list of 10 movies that need 4K releases in 2024. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below, guys, like I said, some other movies that you think need 4Ks in 2024 or 2025 beyond all the movies. Let me know in the comment section below. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.